Hello, 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 and welcome back, all of my beautiful friends from the internet. I hope each and every single one of you is doing spectacularly well on this fine Tuesday morning or whenever you happen to be listening to this episode, whether that be morning, evening, or night. I am your excited host, Luke Dick. Welcome to the Reddit Asks Us podcast, the podcast where we read and react to comments from r/ask Reddit. Remember, if you're watching on YouTube, please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever else you get your podcast, please leave us a rating, and also please leave us a review if you can, and if that's possible. The numbers for the show have been just skyrocketing. I don't want to over exaggerate, but the show's doing really well and it's reaching a lot of people. So if you wouldn't mind, I would please beg of you to leave us a solid rating, because it definitely helps out getting the show out to more people. And now, with that said, remember, you can answer this week's Reddit question by going to the description of the episode in Spotify. You don't need a Spotify membership to download and listen to podcasts. You can go to the description of the most recent episode, and in there should be a white icon that says reply, and you can reply to the episode question, and I will read that response out loud on the next week's following episode. So even just before we get into anything here, everybody, again, I just want to really say thank you all so much for participating in the show, and for listening to the show and sharing it with your friends. It's it's really cool to have people tune in. I know I say this every podcast episode, but I really do feel like I owe it to everybody, because it's just pretty awesome to see you. So I see you guys listening, or see y'all listening to the show. So thank you so much. So last week's episode was, what have you always done but later found out it was gross? So Alex D says, washing the insides of my ears. I never really thought about it until a couple weeks ago. I got a pimple so big I couldn't even fit my AirPod in. Oh, yeah, that's nasty. But yeah, cleaning the insides of your ears is a weird one, because you don't want to just shove a bunch of water down there and then it's just plugging up your ear, and that uncomfortable feeling where you feel like you can't hear stuff and you don't know if you're gonna get your hearing back. Cleaning your ears is a weird one. I think they need to spend more time in schools teaching us how to clean our ears. Honestly, just teaching us. Honestly, they should probably, based on the kids that I went to school with, I think they should probably have a general class about how to clean oneself. I think that there are some basic things we need to be learning and teaching in schools, and I think cleanliness is one of them. Self-care. These types of things, we should not leave this up to parents, because I can tell you right now, it is not working, okay? It's not. You might think it's a given, but surprise, surprise, it is not a given. People do not know how to take care of themselves. I'm guilty of that. My parents were on me for that. But the only reason I, actually did it was because my parents. But I can tell you that doesn't exist for everyone. You'd be surprised. You would surprise your mind, but once you get out in the world, it's fairly evident, even when you are an adult, which is unbelievably sad. So next one comes from Hudson Willome. Drinking milk. It's weird that we drink milk from a different animal and force feed it to other animals. Yeah, that's true. I've had this conversation about milk with my friends before, and it is a bit strange. And Hudson also says, Vortex, I wish you well and hope that you are get better. I am praying for your recovery. Thank you so much, Hudson. And also another big shout out to Vortex. Hoping Vortex gets better. We all are wishing the best and wishing for your good health, Vortex. Next one comes from Stressed Human. We're talking about the green potatoes thing again. See, the thing, okay, Stressed Human, the thing about this is, I have a week in between I do my podcast. I'm so bad at remembering what I said from previous podcasts. So please forgive me if I'm missing details of previous episodes. A lot definitely can go on in a week and between my last episode. So I know for someone, if you might like download episodes successionally and then listen to them, I might just sound like I was talking back to back. But I seriously, this is maybe just a bad memory thing. Maybe I just have dementia. Maybe I should go and get this checked out. Maybe this is like an actual serious problem. I'm like trying to play it off as just like normal human stuff. No, you guys don't forget. You guys don't forget what you did yesterday? What? You don't forget your cousin's name sometimes? What? Or your siblings' names, or just basic life stuff? That's not you guys? Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I wash my bedding once a week due to ADHD and forgot to wash them. Well, washing your bed sheets is definitely important. I think that I read something about like how washing your bed sheets is like one of the most like number one things you need to do to like stay clean, but it's not obvious because your bed sheets don't necessarily seem that way. But if you think about it, you're spending like, what is it, a third of your day. Like if you're sleeping, whatever it is, like 8 hours, like you all should be, you're spending like a third of your day in your bed, just like, writhing around in there, just like, rolling around and getting your skin all in there. And it's like, if I was spending 1/3 of my day in one specific location just tied to it, probably want that place to be clean. Next one comes from Phil Savannah. I actually don't know. I think, isn't it once every 2 weeks or something? Once every week is when you're supposed to wash your bed sheets? I don't even know. Phil Savannah says, "What's up, Phil? I came home from work. I didn't change clothes before lying in bed, and I still kept my shoes and socks on in the house." Man, I'm actually bad. My roommates get on me for that, for like going out somewhere, and I'll just like, I'm so tired. Like this happened the other night. We were watching Pineapple Express. Shout out to Pineapple Express. Super hilarious movie. We're big Seth Rogen fans around here. And I was just like I was in some sweats and like a t-shirt. I'd been wearing it kind of like for like half the day. And after we were done the movie, I was so freaking exhausted. I just like came and just boom. And if I'm tired enough, I will literally sleep in jeans. I am that guy. It is awful. And I have gotten clowned for it. Yo, absolutely clowned for it. Like I'm some sort of subhuman person, or that I'm like an alien or something. Sleeping in jeans, like I'm a menace to society. People have act like I literally need to be put in a straitjacket because I do that. But it is tough. It's tough. I am guilty for that. Not the shoes thing though. The shoes thing, Phil. That's an American thing, man. You Americans have to get on that. Phil also says, "Keep up the good podcast. I'm glad more people are commenting. It's my favorite part. It's also my favorite part too, Phil." What a coincidence. Oh, I love when people comment. So please keep commenting, folks. Bill says, "I don't really chat much. I've been listening for a good while. Keep up the work. Summer 2017 went 5 weeks with no shower. I really hope you were at a music festival. That's your only excuse. Your only excuse is a music festival. 2017. I'm trying to think of what was going on in 2017. I don't think Fortnite was out yet, so that's not an excuse. I don't know. I'm not a super versed video game guy, so I don't know if I'll be able to answer that question the most accurately, but I feel like the only two responses I might give that would be lenient to that is Fortnite, and even though I literally don't even play video games, but I just know how addictive it is because everyone's talking about how how they re-released the original version of Fortnite. I don't even know. But yeah, and a music festival is the only way. Or if you were just like hitchhiking. Shout out to Bill though. Thanks a lot. I appreciate your response. Next one comes from Schnish Sums. "I never used to wash my legs and thought my shower water cleaned it. My friends saw my legs and said, 'I've never seen anything so musty.'" That's such musty. That makes me think of like a dark basement. Like it just makes me think of a place where just people should not go. Like it makes me think of just like mold. Like there's just behind your legs is just, you got moldy legs. Oh, gross. Oh, that's disgusting. Says, "Love the podcast, by the way." Oh, thank you very much, Schnish Sums. Not a super easy name to pronounce, and your profile picture is low-key horrifying. I don't even know what the hell that is. It's just some dude, and he's like got a filter on. He's yelling. That's freaky. I don't like that at all. Anyways, why don't we hop into today's episode? So, today's episode comes again from our favorite subreddit, Askreddit. When you told someone about a serious struggle, what response screamed, "This person has never faced a real problem"? And listen, folks, I've lived a pretty privileged life, okay? But my parents always taught me, like, don't get me wrong, I've definitely gone through my fair share of hard experiences. I think if you're a human living on this planet, it's difficult to go through, like, life without experiencing some sorts of hardship, right? It's important in those times of hardship that we don't shy away from it, that we handle, because the more and more that we shy away from our problems and we, separate ourselves from our problems, the more those problems are going to become much more difficult for us to solve, because they're going to get worse and worse and worse. Life keeps moving forward no matter how much we want to stop, right? It's just a force of nature, right? That's life. So it's important that we face these issues head on so that they don't become larger issues in the future. However, I also was told very much as a kid, how important it is to be sensitive to other people's life circumstances. And I think that is how, if you grow up, more well off than a lot of other people, I think that that's just an important thing to keep in mind, is that, even if you don't have anything to offer in terms of, because people when they're telling you hard stuff aren't even necessarily trying to like get a solution from you or trying to get your help. Most often a lot of times people are venting, and sometimes it's just important for us to offer our empathy or offer our sympathy, and we can offer to be there for them and ask them if there's anything that we can do to help, right? They don't, it's not always, people aren't always looking for the solution. Sometimes people just want to feel heard, sometimes people just want to feel like someone's listening to them. So, you want to make it feel like you're listening to them, but you don't actually listen to them. No, I'm just kidding. That is psychopathic behavior. So, first one comes from Left Apparently. I live in a nice area, but my wife and I are average income folks without family money. At the bus stop with my kids, another parent asked if they could borrow our housekeeper. We don't have one, because hers was sick with COVID and the dishes and laundry were starting to stack up. She was in full crisis mode. I can guarantee this lady has never even cooked ramen. She's never even cooked craft dinner. It has always been the country club. She has been living that country club standard of living forever. And she has one wrench thrown into her situation. She might just go insane. Okay? She's going to be on the phone with daddy. Okay? Daddy's not in great shape. Daddy's not in a position to fix these problems. Okay? He's old. And he's hanging on by a thread to his mental faculties, and she's screaming into the phone that she needs someone to cook her 4-course family dinner and do the laundry because a couple of the laundry baskets are full. It's amazing to me to think that there are adults in this world who've literally never done their laundry before. Isn't that just shocking? I've even had interactions with people who are where it's how much soap, how many clothes, what do I do? It's okay, those are fine questions to ask when you're 10, 11, 12, when you're learning how to do your laundry. But, or maybe before then, I don't know if you learned how to do your laundry before then, but I'd say around that, pre-teenage is when you kind of start doing those more of those responsibilities yourself. You start to learn those things. If you haven't learned that by 35, I got a really bad news for you. But I've been in these situations where I'm am I seriously having to explain to you how to do the laundry? No, you don't put it on a delicate cycle. No, these are your normal clothes. No, we don't put red t-shirts with our white t-shirts. That's something we shouldn't do. There's the amount of people these days still that don't even don't even sort their laundry. I sort my laundry, okay? The reason why some of your clothes don't last is y'all don't sort your laundry, bro. You have to sort your laundry. Okay, this is important. I'm just going on a fucking rant about laundry. But yes, this seems like a really pressing issue for this woman. I really hope she was able to get this figured out. Master of Emus replies and says, OMG, that's so gross. Even if you had a housekeeper, borrowing a whole ass person is fucked up. Yeah, like there's a fucking vacuum or something. Imagine showing up for work and being told, oh, I'm letting my friend borrow you for the day. Go over to the unfamiliar house and do several days worth of built-up chores, such as rancid dishes. Note that there is a non-zero COVID risk too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that sounds perfectly rational. But yeah, we don't have a housekeeper. Not everyone has a housekeeper. Yeah, that's not a thing. Actually, I do know people who had housekeepers growing up. Honestly, I personally look down upon having a housekeeper. All right, like, come on, man. Like, do the shit yourself, bro. Like, you don't need a housekeeper, okay? You can do it. This is about, personal responsibility, cleaning up after yourself. All right? You gotta do these things, man. You gotta do these things. Well, are you really that busy? You cannot tell me you're that busy that you can't clean your own house. Okay? And maybe if you are just like the busiest fucking person in the world, all right, and you've got like 15 startups, okay, maybe, all right, if you can afford it, right? But you better be paying those housekeepers some high cash, okay? Dealing with your fucking nasty shit all the time, bro. Dealing with it yourself. Oh my God. Yes, Marjorie, I noticed that when I went to the bathroom, you didn't flush the toilet for me. Yes, the loo. When I went to the loo, I realized that you didn't flush my last poo. And it was sitting in the toilet. I really need to have a conversation about this. Because this is unacceptable. These are my highest standards, alright? Do you really expect me to flush the toilet for myself, Marjorie? Yeah, this is what I thought. Alright? What did Poppy tell you? Yes, exactly. Right, now let's get back to it. Now, please, it is now time for you to suck the jam out of my toes. I'm getting deep into that bit. All right, next one comes from Hambulance. When my mom committed suicide over the summer in high school, I came back and a girl said she understood because she had totaled her car that summer. Yeah, those are right up there, right? It's your mother committing suicide. Right underneath is totaling your car. It's yeah. I really don't think there is like a possible, like, it just, how could you even think that was just panicked? Like, your mom died. Oh, I just fucking totaled my car. Yeah. Oh, it's same, bro. It's fucked up. Fucked up shit, bro. Your mom dies. This is a horrible summer. Your mom dies. I got fucking wasted and totaled my car. Like, what? Come on, bro. Really? At that point, man, this is why it's important to teach morality in schools, man. We cannot depend on the household to do this type of shit. All right? It is just not happening. Okay? It's not. There's just not. We can't depend on parents to teach these things. So, yeah, honey, it's important that when someone's struggling with something and telling you something that hard that happened to them, what's important for you to do is to like bring something up that was hard for you. Whatever the hardest thing was. So, I remember when I was in school, a girl said to me, "Oh my God, my mother, she committed suicide. It was just horrible, and, I felt awful." And then I said, I feel the same way. I totaled my car, right? Because then we can relate to each other on the stuff, right? Because she lost her mom, I lost my car. We both lost something. And those things are equivalent. Okay, honey? Those things are 100% equal. All right? So think about that. All right? Next time someone says, "Oh no, my grandfather passed away." Well, I cracked a bunch of pencil crayons when I was trying to open my package of pencil crayons. Another ruined. So it's important to, yes, it's a comparison game. It really is. That's what empathy is all about. People want to hear about the shitty things that have happened to you. Yeah, that makes total sense. Why do I have no faith in society? That's why. Next one comes from IDKD Daz3. I went out to lunch with a coworker, and she mentioned her boyfriend wasn't currently working, and I said it must be tough not to have him contributing financially to the relationship. I assumed he wasn't if he didn't have income. And she goes, well, no, he does. He's a trust fund baby. So even though he's not working, we have a lot of money, but we're all kind of trust fund babies, aren't we? Meanwhile, she's the first person who I met who actually has a trust fund, and every penny I've earned and had to work for I had to do myself since I was 16 years old. I don't know if I have actually met anybody with like a trust fund like that, like just money, just like, I mean, I know a lot of people who have like money set aside for them in like terms of that it's supposed to be used for school and stuff, but that money like can't go towards anything else but school. It's like, it's a thing in Canada. It's like there's a type of fund that, you know, you can contribute to with the government and all this stuff that it's set money aside, but you can only use it for school. So you can just take it out and just spend it on whatever you want. Yeah, aren't we all just trust fund babies at the end of the day? We really are. Just when it comes down to it, the one thing we all have in common is that we're trust fund babies. You know, I think that's just there are certain things we all can't relate to, all right, in this life. But I think one of the most important things that we do is we find common ground, all right? And one thing I think resonates with me more than anything else is just we are all trust fund babies at the end of the day. We all have massive bank accounts full of money that are just waiting to be used, right? So it's all about how do I spend the least amount of time doing anything productive and also stretch out that trust fund money as far as it goes. Right? And these are the life-changing decisions that we all have to make as youth, folks. It's not an easy world out there. All right? It's really not. So we really have to be careful about how we stretch out our trust fund within the first 5 years of us having access to it. Right? And you know what? I know my boyfriend blew his all on coke, okay? And you know what? And he had to do he's got some problems, but you know what we all have to lean back on? Is daddy's money, right? Because daddy put the money in the trust fund. So daddy had the money to pay for his rehab and yeah. So yeah. And I mean, there was this one time where he crashed his car into a playground full of kids and guess what? Daddy got him off of it, okay? Daddy helped get rid of the situation. So I think what we should really be pulling away from this, in this lesson, is that we can always just depend on daddy to help us out. All right? Great meeting, everybody. I'm really happy we all decided to do this. Thanks. Thanks for hearing my perspective. Holy shit. In case anyone doesn't know, I'm trying to make reference to the Murdoch family. Oh my God. Please watch that documentary on Netflix. It is just like, what? Like, it's so mind-blowing. And also a Succession reference in there as well. But anyways, why don't we move on to the next one? Next one comes from Amalaman, okay? As someone with lifelong chronic illness, I missed just 2 days from work, and my boss had a talk with me and said, I get sick and still come to work. In the real world, you gotta push through it. I was slowly dying from complications of a now-treated disease, and she knew that. The audacity. This is what happens when we just let, former drill sergeants back into society. All right, people who've literally never been in any danger, but they just like inflicting power on other people. Listen, I know you got cancer. I know you got the cancer bug. All right, but listen, cancer's not the only bug. All right, I had COVID. All right, and I didn't take the vaccine. Okay, you want to hear about struggle? Talk about that. Okay, obviously I'm not going to take some government vaccine. All right. So I had to struggle through COVID. And you know what? I still showed up to work. So don't give me this cancer BS. All right? You know what? I know you're still recovering from your cancer, but give me 20. Drop down on the ground right now. Give me 20. Prove that you really want to work here. Give me 20. And you know, I understand you're going through the chemo thing right now, but your bald head is really not a great look for the business. You know, it's going to throw off the customers. All right, your head is shiny, as you know, it's shiny like a fresh waxed car. All right, now we got to do something about that. All right, so if you could just politely grow your hair back, then we wouldn't have to sit here and have this conversation. Okay, because I'm thinking about firing you. I'm just gonna say it. I'm thinking about firing you. I really am honestly thinking about firing you. And what it really comes down to is you need to show up for work. I don't even care on the days that you have chemo. Okay, I had COVID. I was here, and you got to grow that hair back. All right, and no one wants to see your bald head. Okay, holy shit. We need to do something about this, folks. I need to sign a petition to never let drill sergeants. I don't even know what to do with them, because they shouldn't be doing drill sergeant stuff, because they're obviously abusive people. And we can't let them be in charge of businesses, because they are going to make the worst decisions ever and be the most horrible people. So what do we do? What do we do? I'm open to suggestions, folks. Maybe just a camp for drill sergeants where they get to, you know, boss each other around and just see how toxic that environment gets. Maybe just like a reality TV show where we can all watch just a bunch of drill sergeants. That was so chaotic. Get down and give me 20. No, get down and give me 20. All right, next one comes from Milk and Cookies 21. I started a job about 2 months ago. My dad is 60 and was in the hospital dying, and didn't make it home because I felt like, holy crap, let me read this again. I started a job about 2 months ago. My dad is 60 and was in the hospital dying, and I didn't make it home because I felt like until he was on his deathbed, I'd just go on weekends. My current boss told me the day of his funeral, we will be happy to let you make up the days you miss for his death. After returning to work, she hasn't said a word to me, and I was upset I used my bereavement days. Currently looking for new employment. I hate how so many like businesses are just like, we really are sorry to hear about the death of your loved one. So we're willing to afford you bereavement days, but only 2. All right. We're really, really looking forward to having you back at work as soon as possible, which, looking at your bereavement days, you only have 2, so get over it. You know, just it's over that hump, right? You know, come on and just keep working. You know, that's what we want you to do. Just don't even ask any questions. Just head down. You know, just walk and just just listen everything we tell you to do. Right? Because we understand your dad died, but we have a bottom line. All right? So we need to meet this bottom line regardless of whether your dad dies. So, like, does your dad dying have any effect on the markets right now? Does your dad dying have any effect on our fourth quarter? The only effect it'll have is that you're not here for work. So, yeah, you got to keep working. Yeah, keep working. All right. And if you don't, we're going to fire you. How about that? How about we fire you for your grief, for dealing with the death in your life? There's only so many people you're close to, and those people are probably all going to die if you don't die first. So it is our goal to make sure you spend as little time thinking about those people as possible, and just work. Just head down and just get to work. All right. Thought General. Next one comes from Thought General. I know you were close, but aren't you glad you don't have to deal with that drama anymore? My sister died this July, and that was the response of someone who is now an ex-friend. Editing to add that this friend never had even met my sister, has zero empathy for mental health or addiction, and truly believes we are better off without my sister. Oh, that's tough. That is just... Aren't you glad you don't have to deal with the drama anymore? don't you just, yeah, your sister. Loved her. I know you loved her, but at least she's never going to borrow your car again, right? How annoying was that, right? How annoying was it when she was like, oh, please help me. I'm struggling with this thing and this problem, and I don't feel like I can reach out to anybody, and I'm feeling really alienated right now, and I keep getting in trouble with the law, but I feel like I'm really not doing that much that's wrong, and I feel like I'm being punished for my addiction, and I'm really struggling because after I had that accident, I had to go on opioids, and now I'm addicted to heroin. Don't you just hate those just bombarding texts from your sister? How annoying. So, I know you loved her, but, at least you won't have to deal with the constant text. All right? And, maybe sister's dead. I know you guys took out that lawsuit, against that pharmaceutical company for putting her on Oxycontin. But think about it. Now that your sister's dead, you don't even have to worry about the stress of the lawsuit anymore. So, there's from every situation, there's good things and bad things. All right, there's good things and bad things about every situation. This is one of those good things. So maybe your sister dying was a good thing. Maybe I'm sorry to be the one to tell you that. Okay, sometimes we just have people aren't honest. People just can't handle the truth nowadays. Oh my God, these people are so exhausting. Oh my goodness. And then it's tough because when bad shit happens to these people, they're just expecting everyone to put their life on hold for them. All right. Oh my God, I broke a nail. You don't understand, okay? Your sister died. I get it. I get it. I understand, okay? I'm here for you. But you don't understand what the pain that I'm going through. I paid $200 for these nails. $200. Okay? And they're broken. I got the one yesterday. Keep in mind, for your sister's funeral. All right? This is really all your sister's fault. So, to be honest, I think I'm going to have to ask you to refund me. Honestly. You're going to have to refund me for my nails. I wouldn't have got my nails done if it wasn't for your sister dying. Okay? So, yeah, this is really all your fault. Time to take some responsibility. Holy shit. Oh, God. Yeah. Next one comes from Glass Character 179. My son was born after 8 years of infertility. Wow, congratulations. But I had him at a slightly more inconvenient time of the year. I was talking about this, and some woman said, "You should have planned better." Yes, right. Because, that's just an entire issue of planning and not biology. Yes. I understood that, but couldn't you just have mentally just overrided your biological issues with fertility? Okay, I think it's more about you're just manifesting. Okay, you're not manifesting the right energy. All right? We need you to be focusing on manifesting having a baby at the right time. Okay, and I think you're wasting too much time, dwelling about, am I ever going to have kids? Am I going to stay infertile? My doctor can't give me the right answers. It's just you're manifesting negative energy, and this is why you had your baby at the wrong time. Okay? So I think we need to be more conscious of what you're manifesting. All right? I think this is really an issue that starts with you. It needs to come from your inner zen. All right? Your inner zen needs to match with your outer zen. Okay? And those need to just fuse together to create an environment of pure, just self-control. All right, you just have the reason why you didn't have your baby at the right time is just a little self-control. Okay, just maybe if you just add a little bit more strictness into your life, a little bit more structure into your life, more responsibility for your own freaking actions, then you wouldn't have had this baby at the wrong time. So let's have this conversation about manifesting, all right? Because I think this manifesting thing, we need to be more. This is your problem, all right? This is probably why you're going to neglect your child, and your child is not going to grow up well. All right, your child is not going to have a good life because you are not manifesting properly. It's all this negativity, right? So we need to settle down. We need to have a conversation about this. All right, this is where your real problems are stemming from. Next one comes from Baltazar O.D. Gilsvita. Holy shit. When I was in college and depressed, I spoke about it to some people at a hangout. My ex's friend told me, just travel. It makes me feel better every time. This year I went to Spain and Egypt. Yeah, let's just ignore the fact that I had no money for therapy and should have used that non-existent money to travel twice in 1 year. Listen, I trust you, and I think I just need to be open about this, because this is something that's really affecting my life, everybody. I think I've got depression. I struggle to stay motivated. I'm having really self-depreciating thoughts. I feel really guilty all the time. I'm becoming, it's starting to affect my social life. I can't go out anymore. I feel terrible, and then I feel terrible for feeling terrible, and it's just this, this awful cycle. It's really devastating me. But I think what I've been reading about is that it's just important to reach out and tell everybody, tell the people that are close to you about these issues, because we need to, they said it was important to receive support from people, and people might have some, shoulders to lean on, because I'm really struggling right now. Oh my God. This is so crazy that you even said that. You're depressed? Oh my God. I was feeling so depressed oh my God, so depressed. I was feeling literally so depressed. Okay? Like so depressed. Like, I was like, I don't even want to make my own breakfast. I'm like, where the hell is my housekeeper? I was so depressed. Okay? And I didn't even want to make a bowl of cereal. Okay? So depressed. All right. And I was sad because, my dad wouldn't give me money for, buying this really, we have a family yacht, but I wanted my own yacht. And so he said I couldn't have one. So I was so depressed about it. Oh my God. But sorry. I'm just telling you about my depression. I know it's awful. I probably shouldn't talk about my depression and try to one up you. But, what's the best though is traveling. Traveling fixed all my problems. I was like, I need to get away from my dad because I'm so friggin' depressed. So I'm going to fly to Ibiza. So I flew to Ibiza. I did a bunch of Molly. I met Mike Posner, the guy from the song. And, we went to a bunch of music festivals. I splurged, had a shopping spree, bathed in the sun. And I just felt a lot better after that. So maybe you should think about that, because honestly, traveling just worked wonders for me. Not only I went to Spain, then I went to Egypt. I saw the pyramids. I actually partied in the pyramids. Okay, I paid this guy $1 million. I wire transferred him to let me inside, and we just got wasted inside the pyramids. I took some of the mummy wrapping and put it on, make myself look a mummy. So funny. But see, that stuff just lightens me, right? That stuff really gets me out of my deep depressional ruts that I get in. Especially when daddy says no. So when daddy says no, I have to do something, right? So traveling is really, I think, is going to solve your issues. I think you should really do that. Yeah, that all sounds really great, except for the fact that I'm poor and I can't afford therapy even. I can't even afford therapy. And I also, what makes you think I could afford to travel? Yeah. Reply from Reiko 1982. My girlfriend told me a story today that she had a therapist when she was 19, whom she told she was really struggling. The therapist replied, "What you need is to ask a friend to go to their country house this weekend. Just take a weekend off." My girlfriend didn't have a friend with a country house, and the therapist looked at her like she was lying. If you're in London and addiction recovery, you'll know there's a lot of what the hell? Charlatans associated with a very famous rehab in the 90s and 2000. I have no idea what that is. I can't get out of bed. Because I'm so depressed. You know what? You should visit your friend's country cottage. Works wonders. Maybe just make a tea. You need tea. I think you just need a tea. You ever tried tea? It really lightens my spirits. Yes, I've been drinking tea my whole life. And it's really not helping. Oh, really? Huh. And you sure you can't go to a friend's cottage? like I said, I know nobody who owns a cottage. Okay? I grew up in a very small public housing area. Okay? We don't own cottages. All right? Really? Oh, that's a tough one. Yeah. This has never happened to me before, honestly. Oh, yeah. That sounds hard. That sounds really hard. Don't get me wrong. I'd offer you my cottage house, but I don't know you that well. So I just don't think client, relationship. Yeah, it's not going to work. So yeah, but maybe look for a friend with a cottage. Maybe you should spend your week before you see me next time looking for a friend with a cottage and then come back and tell me if you're successful. Because I think that would really solve all your problems. Just find that friend with the cottage house. Next one comes from Mind of KB. My friend's aunt is really rich, and I had to sit and hear her complain about complain to her family about how inflation is so bad. She had to buy a BMW X3 instead of an X5, like she had originally planned. Not a single person in the room felt bad for her. Edit. I'm seeing a lot of comments saying that she's downgrading. She's not rich. I know a handful of rich folks, and they stay rich by setting a budget and sticking to it. I'm 100% sure that if she really wanted to, she could have spent the extra scratch. But it was clear at that time that that other unavoidable expenses had to cut into her car budget. Wow. How devastating. How devastating. It's just, there's housing crisis right now, food security issues. It's just, unfortunate issues with substance abuse. But right up there is the BMW X3, X5 situation. Like, it's right up there. I really don't see how it's not right up there, because how am I supposed to get anything done in a BMW X3? Okay. If I'm going to do and actually contribute to society and perform like positive acts for society, I can't be driving around in an X3. Okay, that is such a downgrade you don't even know. All right, you don't even know how much of a detriment that's going to be for me to change the world. All right, I'm doing a tech startup. Okay, I got crypto stuff going on. I can't be looking like how am I supposed to pull off the tech crypto look and gain respect from my peers if I'm driving around in a freaking X3? Okay, it's just so phony. It's not even, they're going to see right through me. All right. All the people at the crypto startups, the FTX guys, the SafeMoon guys, and gals and people, they're going to know something's up. All right. They're going to be like, I don't know if I want you working here if you're driving that BMW X3. Am I right? Really? Whew. Next one comes from Yeet God McNeeches. This wasn't said in direct response to it, but my former friend said the following knowing full well that I was suffering from depression. Depressed people should just get over it. I had depression, and that's what I did. He was either lying about having depression in the first place, or lying about getting over it. Both are equally plausible. Yeah, there's no way this person was really depressed. This is just like the person before. It's just, I was really depressed. My dog, just decided that it wanted to hang out with my sister more than me. So I got really depressed. It sent me into a really deep depression because of that. I don't think I could ever forgive my dog. How am I supposed to forgive my dog for doing something like that? And now I'm just in this depressional rut that I'll never get out of. I'm so freaking depressed, it's not even funny. Better go shopping. That's how I get over my depression. I just go shopping. Like, that's just, I just buy anything. Clothes, appliances, just really laptops, tech, just anything. All right. I bought myself like 14 Apple Watches the other day. Now I feel so much better. All right. And no, I bought the really rare ones. So I'm obviously going to resell them for a higher price. I'm not going to just give them away. What a waste. Why don't we read one more So Brock Lee says, my wife was friends with a trust funder whose grandfather was super wealthy and even started a famous museum you might have heard of. Anyway, my wife was taking part in a community garage sale at the apartment where she was living then, when her friend asked if she could bring over some stuff she never used and wanted to get rid of. One was a very cheap small screwdriver set. Anyway, some guy asked the friend what she wanted for it, and she says, $10? Guy huffed and walked off. She says to my wife, what do I know? I never use tools. Yeah, so I got this this brand new blender. It's a Ninja blender, but I just don't use it. Oh yeah, this is really really nice. What would you want for it? I don't know. What garage sales? What are they going for garage sales at these days? Just people are rich, right? $5,000 maybe. 5,000? Is that seems about fair? Okay, because 5,000 is kind of what I need right now to buy, this new coat that I was looking at, this Christian Dior coat. But that's probably a fair exchange, right? It's like brand new. So, anyways, folks, I'm gonna wrap it up today for the holy crap. What am I saying? I'm gonna wrap it up there today for this podcast. Thank you all so much for tuning in to another episode of the Reddit Ask Us podcast. The podcast where we read and react to comments from r/Askreddit. Please remember to leave us a rating and also leave us a review, like, comment, and subscribe. You can answer this week's question by going to the description of the episode in Spotify and clicking the icon that says reply, and I will read that reply out loud on the next week's episode, and you will be notified when your response is published. I appreciate each and every single one of you. Thank you all so much for tuning in, and I will see y'all next week. Peace out. Love you. Bye.